mean, I'm trying my best, right? I'm trying my best, but the further I go with this, the more I realize that I have no clue about anything. Well, how do I even start this? About a month ago, or 1.5 months ago, I decided to get back into drawing, get back into art, because the past maybe 5, 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 years, I have not made as much artwork as I have in my childhood and teenage years. I was drawing every day, all day. All I ever did was draw. It was like the ultimate escape, and the one thing in my life I was super proud of, because I looked at my artwork, I was like, yeah, this is something I love. This is something I just feel in every cell of my body. As I was getting older, life just came in like a, I don't even know, tornado, and ripped up everything that was still standing. And art never reached the intensity it had when I was younger, basically before becoming an adult. And I really want to change that. I want to get back into this like richness art always gave me. This project morphed into something way bigger than I anticipated. So I started with like fun drawings, like always drawing from real life, because that was a challenge. Drawing like a little leaf here, the next day a little fish, the next day an eye, I don't know. To complex problem solving of problems I have ignored for the past 16 years of my life. I looked at the 7 elements of art, which are form, lines, space, color, texture, values, and shape. And I looked at this and thought, what am I the worst at? Like, what is something I have been ignoring and actively avoiding for all those years? And that was values. Because I have no clue about values, I also never dared to use color, because if you don't know values, the color is just like a side effect of the values. So if your values are not right, your colors suck as well. So I went on this quest to learn values, and in this quest I tried to learn how to get the eye of an artist, how to learn what to see and how to see. And I was like kind of confident because it was going great, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I can see that I see better every day. Just then to find out that it's actually not seeing, it's actually knowing. So then I went from, okay, I'm still not done training what I see, so now I need to train what I know, And I'm a bit overwhelmed where to start and where to go, because what am I even doing at this point, But I cannot give up, I told myself I will do this, and I will make it, and I will be an artist because I always wanted to, so I have to do this. So, to combat this problem, I decided to draw still lifes. For the first time in my life, I decided to sit down and draw still lifes. And of course I had to watch some tutorials beforehand. I watched a lot. I watched how to draw still life, how to draw shadows and light, how to work with the grayscale, what is a grayscale, how do you make a grayscale. So a lot of prep work went into this, and I was super nervous to try it, because in my mind I was sure I was going to fail. Because in my entire drawing history I had never tried to draw a still life, and it put a lot of pressure on me to actually do it. I will link all of the videos below I used, of course. And I just took some vegetables and some fruits from the kitchen and decided to draw random things. Like, I think I drew apples and limes and pepper bells and peaches, like just random fruits I had lying around. And to my surprise, it went quite well. I had fun doing it. Also, my setup, I have this pen and paper blinder thingy. I put one of my black skirts over it and then use my ring light as the light source. Because, you just have to get creative sometimes. So just use what you have lying around, it will be fine. Now, doing these still life paintings, drawings was very exhausting, I gotta say. Even though I enjoyed doing them, it was very hard. Because I was fighting my inner critic, and also I had to concentrate a lot to make this happen, because this was very technical, and I tried to teach myself a technical aspect of drawing. So in between these still life drawings, I did random art. Just random art to kind of loosen the tension a little bit, to not lose the fun of it, because I put so much pressure on myself that I was always one step away from giving up, because it was just too much to handle. So I decided, hey, in between I just will draw or glue or paint random things that are fun, just to keep going. And that's what you see here, a random collection of drawings I did in between as a break. So I would also highly recommend, if you feel burned out because you're doing something technical, very technical or technical exhausting, or you're putting too much pressure on yourself, just draw for fun random stuff. It doesn't have to be a big project, doesn't have to be anything. It could just be like, use one pencil, draw random shapes. No thinking, just doing, to just loosen up the tension again. So, welcome to my first ever oil painting. I'm so glad that I caught this on camera. In the background you can see that I'm watching a video I will link down below. It was a video of the first oil painting you should paint, and I tried to follow the advice. So I decided to work in burnt umber as an underpainting, and you can see here, this is the first time ever feeling how oil painting moves and how it works. I experimented a little bit with the diluent and with the linseed oil, trying to cover the whole page, kind of getting a feeling for the paint and how it behaves, which I didn't get at all because I didn't understand it at that point. I just didn't make much sense. I then scrubbed the surface with a cloth just to get all the wetness away. At this point I have watched so many tutorials and tips on how people do oil painting, what they recommend, what you are supposed to do as your first steps, how to get into it, how to differentiate the different linseed oil and the different gamsols and how it behaves on the page. But hearing it from other people and then actually experiencing it is such a different thing, It's been a long time since I felt like such a beginner, because I felt so overwhelmed and kind of stupid. But I didn't let it get to me, I really tried to get through this and try and be patient with myself. I will blend in the picture I copied from the video. And I just very loosely decided to just follow the picture I was seeing with this underpainting, just blocking in the shadows. And then I decided to try the paint. Now I start mixing and matching and I cannot feel the paint. I'm kind of confused all the time. The paints were also super thin and liquidy, and I couldn't for the life of me made them stick on top of each other. It was so hard to get them to stay where I wanted them to stay. that I decided, you know what, I have to do another painting. And this time it will be just in black and white, just to get a feeling for the paint. To get a feeling how the paint behaves if I just use linseed oil. If I don't use any oil. If I use the Gamsel. If I use Gamsel and linseed oil. If I use different colors and different consistencies on top of each other and next to each other. Just to get a feeling, hopefully, on how oil paint behaves in different circumstances. And for this I also watched a video explaining the exact mistakes and problems I had, which I will link down in the description as well, of course. It was an experience, and I cannot even tell you if I really learned my lesson. You know, I got a better feel for oil paint for sure, but at the same time I still felt like mostly managing to mix and match and work colors on top of each other was more luck than actual knowledge. And all the videos said, oh, don't worry, it will come with time. It will come with time. You will just get a feeling for what to use when. And I know this is probably true, but at the same time it annoyed me. It annoyed the hell out of me because I was struggling so much to make it work. And I was like, I need some advice to help me right now.